All right, hello everyone. Welcome back. We got our second match of the day here for the COE 1v1 tournament 2022. It's our second quarterfinals matchup, this time between Badeu and Malteser. I'm Dio, I'm back here again with Blue, who was just unfortunately eliminated from the tournament, but is here on the desk to cast.
Hello, hello. Back once again. Sue!
We're going to start things off, as always, with the roll between these two players. So Badeu, Malteser, come on down. It's time to roll some dice.
Catch?
With no monetary incentives for the rolling.
Let's go. 3, 2, 1. Is that 98?
That looks like 20 and 86 as the rolls. So 86 for Malteser, 20 for Badeu. So Malteser winning the roll in pretty solid fashion. And I think we can now start talking about this matchup a little bit. We got some very different players for this one, huh?
Yeah, they're not reed cut, I'll say that, but we're looking at definitely a lot of speed maps by Malteser. Definitely looking at protect on some of the gimmick maps from badeu. Fairly simple to predict, I think.
Yeah, I mean, these two have about as different of skill sets as you can get at this level, I feel like.
Yeah,
where,
definitely.
Malteser kind of the opposite of Badeu, not a very good reading player, better on hard rock than hidden, and best on speed. Badeu, better on hidden than hard rock, but still pretty good at hard rock, actually. Maps like the hard rock 2 and hard rock 3, I think, are going to be very contested picks between these two players, because Badeu, very, very good at hard rock alt, precision, and hard rock slider aim. But, you know, there's some pretty obvious picks for either of these players to go into.
Yeah, definitely expecting No Mode 1 to come through sometime as well. badeu definitely really good at aim, as everybody knows. You know, a couple of 10-star FCs, very good at low CS. But I don't really know how to predict this one because... Oh, what's up? Malteser and I just having a little chat there, but yeah, I feel like this one's kind of hard to predict considering the difference in skill sets.
Yeah, I definitely think so. You got a lot of, you have some pretty predictable maps, but the overall outcome is a little bit harder because of that. I think obviously you're going to see protects on Hidden 2 and Nomad 6 from Badeu, and I would have to say probably a ban on the Hidden 3 coming out of Malteser. Just because that map is probably a little bit more difficult for him to get a breakpoint on than something like the Hidden 1. Bit higher BPM, more streamy focused rather than kind of alt aim control focused on that one. So I think Badeu's picks kind of depend on how well he does on stuff like the Nomad 3 and potentially on something like some of the hard rocks in Hard Rock 2 and Hard Rock 3, whether or not we see a tiebreaker. Whereas for Malteser, you know, you've got any two of the 3 speed maps to be protected and one of them to be banned, and then something like the Double Time 1 and the Nomad 2 maybe as potential picks afterwards.
Yeah, I suppose so, but we have to consider the fact that Malteser's no slouch on hard rock either. He's a veteran tournament player. One of the best. Apparently badeu leaving DT2 open. Malteser talking a bit of trash right now.
It's a lot more fun casting, being able to hear the players bantering to each other as they do picks and bans, I gotta say. Well, I got some early bans. Nomad 2 banned out by Badeu, and Hidden 3 banned out by Malteser. I think that probably confirms the protects from Badeu as Nomad 6 and Hidden 2. Pretty obvious ones there. And for Malteser, I think Badeu potentially leaving up the Double Time 2, probably protecting the Nomad 5 and the DT3 from Malteser's side.
Yeah, and there it is. I mean, DT2 immediately, as we can see, Malteser was talking a bit of trash earlier to badeu, saying, oh, you left DT2 open? Well, I'm going to pick it straight away, and I'm pretty sure we're going to see an early Malteser lead here.
We probably will, but remember, this is laser scoring, it's not score v2. So if Badeu is able to double tap and he can get some combo together, Malteser maybe shit misses in the middle, you know. It's possible we see Badeu actually win the pick just through sheer force of mashing. And I think we are already into the map right now, so hopefully we'll get that swapped over in just a second on the laser client. As I can already hear both of them tapping away during this Double Time 2. It's all 225 BPM streams. That is the entire map. Great song choice from BYOC on this custom map. Probably the best song in the pool.
Ooh, I don't know. Hidden 2 is a pretty good banger. Not gonna lie.
Nah. I gotta vouch for Double Time too. I gotta vouch for DT too. It says a lot that both of Wowie's maps are like best song in the pool, right? It's kind of hilarious that he's just got both of them going so well for him.
I mean, it just shows, you know, Wowie, he's definitely got great choice. Definitely entertaining us as well with the song choice too.
I think we do have a little bit of a technical issue right now, not being able to get the scores displayed on screen, but it looks like I do see blue player in the lead right now. That is Malteser. Taking a peek over at Badeu's screen right now, and I do see blue in the lead by a pretty wide amount.
Yeah, looking fairly standard here, Malteser. Oh, and we actually we have the screen back up now. Malteser fairly comfortably in the lead, about 50, 60k right now, going on 70, and yeah, badeu just really not able to hold a combo right now. As expected, 66% arc. I mean, I think we all know which way this is going to go.
Yeah, and you know, there's combo here and there for badeu, but not enough. Not enough. The double tap method not strong enough on this map, and you can kind of see the frustration. He's just kind of, you know, hanging out at this point. Malteser looking good.
Now, it reminds me of the Abyssal matchup yesterday with Catburger.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we're going to see either a No Mod 6 or a Hidden 2 for badeu after this. I mean, badeu's basically expected to lose picks like this, so I doubt he's in any kind of trouble mentally right now.
He might also go for one of the hard rocks after this. This is a high approach rate pick. It's AR 10.1. I wouldn't be surprised if he just takes that and carries it into hard rock and says, you know what, I'm going to go for that precision pick or something similar, because those are his toss-up picks, right? He already knows he's going to win 2 points on the 2 low approach rate maps.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you know, it's fairly common strategy in tournaments to pick small CS maps fairly early. You know, considering people might have nerves, people might be shaking, and their aim might not be as stable as it might be in the, you know, later stages of a match. So you could be right. badeu could maybe be picking hard rock here, but yeah, so we're coming to the closing section of the map. Easily a comfortable win by Malteser, 460k. Very well played.
I think we're going to see a lot of other maps like this during the course of this match, given that these two players are, they have some very lopsided skill sets, but Malteser, very nice first point, A rank to D rank on the scoreboard there. Very nicely done. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of other maps like that, because both of these players are very good at one thing and very bad at another thing. So when we see No Mod 6 and Hidden 2, we're going to see the same situation reversed in that one.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, we're probably going to be seeing fairly comfortable badeu picks here. Lower AR, Hidden 2, No Mod 6, potentially even the hard rock. We'll see where it goes, though. I mean, Malteser's definitely got a wide array of speed maps and stream maps available. So
I still got both DT3 and No Mod 5 left up as speed picks, and then potentially a Double Time 1 or Hard Rock 1 after that. We did see him pick Hard Rock 3 first in his previous match, so maybe he ends up going for that one as well.
Oh, I didn't see that actually. Hard Rock 3, really tricky map. Oh, looks like we're going into the second map here. I'm not entirely sure what it is. We'll find out in just a second. Looking like No Mod 6. Thank you, Malteser.
Very safe bet on that No Mod 6 pick, Blue.
Yeah, and as we can see, Malteser already struggling with the intro a little bit. Struggling with those overlapping sliders, and badeu, no problem whatsoever, 99.9%. As I say that, he drops, but yeah, it's not looking good for Malteser on this pick. It's going to be a fairly even... Yeah, going to be a fairly even match now, 1-1. I think we can already count Malteser out of this pick, but let's see if badeu can get a good score.
Shoutouts to Malteser's blood brother, Abyssal, on this map from yesterday. I'm going to be looking for similar accuracy, similar ac. He's actually got in the 70s right now. He's not looking too bad at the moment, but you know, badeu is still full comboing, so
yeah, this map does pick up quite a bit towards the end. These overlapping patterns do not get any easier, and I feel like Malteser is going to have definitely not the time of his life on this. Although, as you can see, badeu still full comboing, 98% arc. This is already an incredible play for most people. Comboing through those buzz sliders as well. Those aren't easy to hit. Coming through to the jump section. I want to see if he FCs this map.
Well, now that you've said it, it's not happening, but We'll just have to wait and see. We're over the halfway point. He's still got it going right now. 98% accuracy as well. Looking very, very... I mean, 630K on this. 630K on this is already going to beat basically everybody else in the tournament. It's just a matter of whether or not he finishes it out, right?
Come here, come sit down, come on. Malteser joining us on the couch for a little bit. We're going to try and see if badeu FC's this map. He missed! Why did you miss, badeu? Come on, man.
Aww.
We're all watching.
It's so unfortunate. But this guy drank all of Blue's water just in front of his face. I can't believe him.
Water, by the way.
You're not meant to do anything. 850, 900K is like impossible to beat on this map. Very, very good score from badeu. And yeah, that's what I meant by lopsided skill sets, guys. These players are just going to trade for a while.
Yeah, a few choice words by Malteser. Some of the Polish people might understand that, but yeah, badeu with about as comfortable as you can get on a point.
Oh my lord.
We like to have fun here, guys. We like to have fun.
Well, I'm looking at double time 3. I'm looking at no mod 5. I see they're both still open. I figure we're going to get one of those two maps. And no mod 5. Thank you, Malteser. Chemo's map, no mod 5, has been like very popular, actually. It's been picked in almost every single match that we've had. 260 BPM burst and stream spam all the way through. Pretty consistent. A little bit hard at the intro, a little bit hard at the end, but otherwise a very, very flat difficulty line all throughout. It's been a very popular map because of all the simple patterns in it. It's just basic bursts and streams.
I mean, you say that, I got absolutely messed up by Reedcat on that, and he wasn't even warm, so... Malteser asking badeu for a handshake in the long intro of the map.
They can't skip, so we're just getting a handshake before the start of the match.
You gotta love it, Malteser with the showmanship. Round of applause for Malteser. And yeah, surely getting started with this one. We're gonna see if badeu can do the double tap method like Catburger and maybe take this.
Catburger actually almost won this map by double tapping. The spacing on this is not that big. It's definitely winnable with the double tap. Unlike double time 2, which is completely unwinnable double tapping. This one, maybe he'll be able to do it.
Well, I mean, we'll have to see. Coming into the start of the map, already Malteser with the SS and badeu with the 73% hack. It's not looking good already. Yeah, going into those streams, badeu actually finding more combo than Malteser right now. But yeah, that accuracy difference, almost 20% through the intro. I don't think it's going to change very much from that.
But the accuracy doesn't matter all too much either. As long as Malteser is able to hold on to combo where it counts, then he'll be able to find the point. It does find a miss on some of these streams, but badeu is just not quite able to double tap through enough of these bursts and streams to get the combo together. They've got about the same right now, and you can see the score lead isn't too big at the moment, about 40K this early on.
Yeah, this score lead isn't as big as I thought. Almost 10K right now. Both have identical combo going into these linear jump sections right now. We're going to see if badeu can hold through the burst, and he does. Malteser finding the break, but badeu right after. This score is dead even right now. I'm so surprised.
This is the double tap method in full force, man. As long as you can get some combo together, it's going to make it very, very close. Malteser misses the last note in a burst there, and badeu is able to combo through. So this score lead is actually going to go badeu's way here, as long as he can hold on to the combo for a little bit. Ah.
And there it is. Missing at the end of that burst there. Malteser taking the lead at the break. How is your score that good, says Malteser to badeu. And how is his score that good? That almost 13% hack lead for Malteser only results in a 3K score lead at the break, but that 57 combo is going to do him favors going into the slower section here.
Yeah, too bad for Malteser. This is not an ACK game with this scoring method. This is all combo game right now. But luckily for him, badeu missing on the 1/3 there right after the break, and Malteser with a bit of a combo lead, bit of a score gap starting to form again, and hopefully he'll be able to close this out cleanly. Very clearly the more comfortable player on this map right now, but could get upset if badeu is able to find a miracle combo run here through the end, not to be on those bursts before the sliders.
Yeah, and it just goes to show Malteser definitely the more comfortable player. I think because this map is so long, you really see if, you know, who's consistent on this map, who's going to be able to pull it through towards the end, and unfortunately the double tap method doesn't seem to work for badeu now, as that score lead goes over to Maltesers by over 100k now. badeu pausing because he cannot just play the streams at all. Yeah.
badeu trying to shake out the hand there at the end. Very clearly not comfortable on the map. Probably hurting himself a little bit trying to double tap too hard.
Yeah, and I mean, I sympathize with badeu. I mean, I felt the same thing playing this literally an hour ago against Reedcat. This, you know, if you're not prepared for how fast this map is and, you know, how intense it gets without the breaks, you know, your forearm's really going to feel it and you're going to want to take a break, but this map doesn't hold up, and as we can see, Malteser closing in on a 200k lead over badeu on this map. Going to be taking this point on Nomad 5. And there it is.
Very clean points again for Malteser. 3 very clean points here at the start for either player. 2-1 currently for Malteser, but badeu with the next pick probably goes into that hidden 2 once again, I have to assume. So we'll be getting another one of those rather one-sided maps. Another good song for hidden 2.
Yeah, and I mean, that's kind of the storyline of this match, right? 2 completely separate skill sets, you know. As we talked about at the start, Malteser obviously been an incredible speed player, one of the best in the world, and you know, badeu, one of the greatest gimmick aim players in the game, and there it is, as you said, that hidden 2. It's going to be another point for badeu here, presumably.
Players just going immediately for their protected picks. In Malteser's case, maybe a DT2 right at the start. Cheeky extra speed map for him available in the pool, and probably after this, we might see badeu go into some of the more toss-up picks, maybe that hidden 1 or one of the hard rocks that might be favored towards him, like the hard rock 2. Potentially a Nomad 3 as well, but we'll have to see exactly what he ends up wanting to go with. For now, we get this hidden 2, the reading pick and hidden. Very, very difficult, lots of cut streams, lots of wiggle streams in this map. Very, very tricky to read some of the aim sections correctly as well. It's a lot more difficult than it appears at first glance, and yeah, you can hear badeu saying, "What? I missed there?" on the first miss of the map, just on a random jump.
Yeah, definitely. These slower maps, especially on the low AR, like, they really catch you out. I think, speaking from experience, I believe if the maps are a little bit higher BPM and they've got a little bit more going on speed-wise, it's much easier to actually be able to combo. And as we can see, even badeu, very proficient on the low AR, still can't find a combo, as well as Malteser. Fairly even score coming out of the intro, but there's plenty of map left to go.
Yeah, just for reference, this is the guy who just got 850k on the AR6 map in Nomad, so that kind of puts into perspective how hard some of these patterns are. It's not a matter of not being able to read it, it's a matter of it being very, very tricky to execute properly while in the map. Luckily for badeu, it's not going to matter too much. Malteser very clearly not comfortable sitting down below the 80% accuracy mark and down about 50k score, even with all the resets from badeu right now.
Yeah, and as you can see just there, that space stream, that accelerating space stream has caught everybody out, I believe, who's played this map. And, you know, even the best players like badeu, not able to find combo through that section. But speaking of combo, badeu's building right now. He's building that score lead. As I say that, but double break, but yeah, fairly comfortable 70k lead going into the KI section here, and Malteser not seeming to have a good time whatsoever.
I think badeu may be having a couple tablet issues. It looks like his cursor is teleporting a little bit. Maybe some hover issues there, not holding the pen close enough to the tablet as he does hover. So potentially that might be part of the reason why he is finding a lot of these misses. Might have to do some readjustments after this map, so we may take potentially a little break, just a short couple-minute break to make sure he's all good there. Because, yeah, missing on this slow section is definitely not characteristic of badeu. Definitely expect his score to be a lot higher than 280k at this point most of the time.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, you know, that's what comes with playing on LAN, right? You know, you're not going to have a perfect setup, and obviously, if you didn't know, the players are playing on laser right now, and you know, most top players really aren't used to laser. There's a lot of different mechanics that are going on, and we're not using the classic mod currently, so the sliders work a little bit differently, and the note lock works a little bit differently, so players you might see that are proficient on some maps might not do as well as you think, and we can see that here with Badeu, although he's still got a fairly comfortable 60k lead, 92% accuracy going into the very last section of the map, and he's going to take a point here.
Yeah, luckily for him, none of these tech issues really mattering all that much during this map, and it's not going to affect the outcome of the match whatsoever, but it can be frustrating, and it can put maybe a bit of a damper on the motivation or on the momentum for a player. So definitely want to get whatever is going on sorted out before the start of the next map. As badeu, another clean point, 2-2.
Oh, do you not have it? Do you want me to go back?
He's typing in, yeah. Go ahead and go back, actually. I'm assuming they know, but yeah. All right. While we communicate what's going on and make sure that everybody's aware backstage of exactly what kind of problems we're having, I want to talk about where we go from here. I think there's a very obvious double time 3 pick coming up for Malteser after this map. But aside from that, you're looking at a lot of toss-up maps. Even something like the DT1 is probably a toss-up between these two, because badeu can read the higher approach rate, can play the DT aim maps in this pool. So you're even looking at potentially breakpoints for either side, for either Malteser or badeu coming in on any of these maps. Stuff like the No Mod 4 that you would usually say goes toward badeu is very, very streamy on this pool, so we potentially won't even see him pick into that. Potentially looking at No Mod 3, but again, that has some pretty higher BPM streams in it for somebody like badeu. I think they're around 190 BPM in the No Mod 3 or so, the extra streams in between the jump sections.
Yeah, on the No Mod 3, I think the skill mainly it comes from like fairly snappy, awkward jumps, and if you can combo through those, I believe the alt sections of the map are actually much easier than you'd expect. I mean, you know, me considering I'm not the best at No Mod 3, those sections I find fairly comfortable at least, and you know, it's a fairly non-standard No Mod 3 I've noticed too with like I said, those snappy jumps.
It definitely is. It almost feels like a really high BPM jump map instead of an alt map for the most part. Speaking of high BPM, we've got double time 3 picked up. 285 BPM, AR 10.3. Very hard on both speed and aim and higher approach rate reading, so both of these players are going to have a lot of work cut out for them to get good scores on this one. Child's play for Malteser apparently, still holding the full combo, still looking at 97-ish accuracy right now as well. Looking very solid on this one to start.
Yeah, and like I said before, the whole storyline of this match has been the separate skill sets, and you know, it's been closer than you might think actually, with badeu coming really close on some of those speed picks, but yeah, this is Malteser's playground right now, one of the best speed tournament players in the game currently, and you can see it here, comfortable 96%, 10% better than badeu. Does find a break, however, and badeu building quite a sizable combo lead right now.
I think it's kind of funny with this match. The protects almost don't matter in this match, because even if badeu doesn't protect the AR6 and Hidden 2 map, well, he still gets a free point on Hidden 3 anyway. And same for Malteser, even if he doesn't protect some of the DTs, well, he still gets the extra free point on No Mod 2. So the skill sets are so lopsided in this one that the protects almost just don't matter. And you can see it in pretty much every map we've played so far. These free points for Malteser on all the speed maps going very easily his way, and the free points for badeu on the reading picks going very easily his way as well. It's still a pretty okay score for badeu on this map, all things considered. 370k is not bad, but you know, Malteser far better accuracy, looking way better on the map overall.
Yeah, it's just fairly comfortable for Malteser, you know. Got that nice 300 combo, building an even greater lead right now, getting over 550k, going on 600k. It's looking really impressive by Malteser right now. I bet he's feeling really good about this one. And there we have it, going into the very last burst of the map. Malteser going to be taking this one by over 300,000 points. What a great score by him.
Yeah, 800,000 score by the end of it for Malteser. Fantastic stuff from him. as expected from one of the better speed players in the tournament and one of the better speed players in the open rank tournament scene in general. Looking very, very comfortable on that sort of map. It looks like we do have the Poon helping out with badeu's tech issues, so hopefully those get sorted pretty soon. And after those are sorted, we'll be able to get into his next pick. Kind of talked at length about the Hard Rock 2, about the Nomad 3 and Nomad 4 at this point. What do you think? What do you think he actually wants to go into as this next pick? Because I do think it's up for debate what he maybe goes into. Maybe the Double Time 4 as well. It's something that he's probably very strong at.
Yeah, I mean, badeu, clearly a very strong ult player, but I'm hearing from Malteser here that he's expecting a Nomad 1 pick by badeu, and I mean, I understand the logic. badeu's a great aim player, and yeah, I mean, I agree with him, although I do see the hidden 1 open, and Malteser not the best at hidden. I wouldn't say, definitely not better than badeu. Still open for a pick, but
I would be a little bit concerned about badeu's stream stamina on something like the hidden 1, though. 193 BPM, and despite the fact that none of the streams are super long, they're all one right after the other, and so it can be a bit of a stamina drain. Speaking as somebody without any real stamina to speak of myself, I think that map would give me some trouble that way, more so than the flow aim. So I'm definitely looking into something like the Hard Rock 3 or maybe the Double Time 4 as a first pick for him. Nomad 1 I think would also make a lot of sense. We saw in Mustache's match, actually, versus Malteser, the reason he was able to win the Nomad 1 pick is because he got the combo through that first key eye time. He just got a massive combo early on, and no player really is able to combo through the stream section in that map, so I don't think it's as much of an issue for badeu as it would usually be.
Yeah, although I am leaning towards a DT4 for badeu. I really like that pick for him. Really all rhythm focus, not so much aim. There is some fairly snappy aim in there. You've got to be careful to not slider break right at the start of sliders, because some of those gaps between the ult sections and the sliders are quite large, and you can just easily slider break and lose a combo, and even the point just from that. But yeah, I think definitely a DT4 I'm leaning towards.
Yeah, very jump streamy sort of map, and at 166 BPM, it's going to be pretty comfortable for badeu as well. More so, I think, than something like the Nomad 3, where you're looking at, relatively higher BPM streams with the same type of aim control requirement in between those high BPM jumps. We'll see what ends up getting picked. Hopefully, every issue can be resolved shortly. In the meantime, I think we've beat to death the remaining picks for badeu, so maybe we'll talk about Malteser's picks a little bit here. All of the speed maps are really gone. I think he probably still picks the Double Time 1, even though it's a bit of a toss-up. badeu can read the higher approach rate, does have the aim for a map like that, of course. But Malteser probably still favored on a map like that, given that it is, Double Time's his bread and butter. It's his favorite mod. It's something that he's always been very good at.
Yeah, I agree, but I wouldn't sleep on Malteser on Hard Rock, though. I remember back in the day, he definitely surprised me with how good he was, as an all-round player, just in general, and I feel like these Hard Rock picks could be good for him. I think those are the most contested picks, in my opinion, because, of course, we have badeu great at small CS, aim. Hard Rock 1 could look good for him, but then again, Malteser, genuinely another really good player on Hard Rock, so I'm not really sure who to pick for those.
Yeah, we saw Malteser take advantage of some of the Hard Rock picks against Mustache also in his previous match. So it wouldn't surprise me to see him go into that. In fact, he first picked Hard Rock 3 against Mustache in his previous match. So wouldn't surprise me to see either the Hard Rock 1 or the Hard Rock 3. I think a little bit less likely to see Hard Rock 3 picked into badeu, somebody who is extremely good at fast slider aim. But definitely still a possibility to see that map get picked.
What a great song, though. I mean, what a great song. Definitely a good one. I mean, the mappers did a great job selecting the songs, definitely.
A lot of the mappers in this tournament are here, by the way. I know obviously Happy 30 not here, but Yaspo's here, Saranite is here, Devious Panda's here, actually watching the match right now. I know Wowie has been here throughout a lot of the event, half-slashed, Gordon. I believe Zelk was also here, Aiko's also here. Posing for a picture with Malteser. But yeah, a lot of the mappers for most of these maps actually are at the event as well, so say hi if you do get a chance to see them around. I'm sure they would love to talk about some of the maps in the pool that they worked on.
Yeah, no, for those of you just arriving today, I know a lot of people arriving today because of the weekend tickets. Every single one of these maps has been custom made just for this tournament. So if you do see any of those mappers, please give them thanks. They've done an amazing job here.
How do you think either of these players fares against Reedcat, by the way? Both of these players, if they win this match, they go up against Reedcat in the semifinals. So you can potentially talk about kind of the matchup there.
Well, I mean, I was very warm today, and if he beat me 5-1, I don't know who's going to beat him if he's warm. You know, I think he's just too good of an all-round player, and, you know, some of these players like badeu or Malteser definitely have exploitable weaknesses that Reedcat just doesn't necessarily have because he's such a good all-round player. He can play the hard rocks. You know, he's passable on the hiddens. Like you even saw, you know,
yeah, that
Reedcat,
550k hidden one, right? That was a pretty good score.
Famously not a good hidden player, but you know, pulling through, beating, you know, someone such as myself on that, really good score by him. And you know, I'm not entirely sure if any of these players are all round enough to beat him on this pool.
Yeah, it definitely gets a lot harder after they get through their major strengths, right? Either badeu or Malteser obviously have a couple free points against him, either on the reading maps or on speed, but past that, it becomes a lot more difficult for anybody who's kind of a one-trick to really get an edge in against somebody who is more of an all-rounder in a 1v1. That's why you see players like Reedcat all the time, either really high-seeded in 1v1s or ending up winning a lot of these types of 1v1 tournaments, because how well-rounded you are often determines the course of a match. I think one thing that a lot of specialists do have going for them, though, in this tournament is A, the protect phase, and B, the fact that it's only best of 9. You don't have to win 7 maps, you only have to win 5 of them. So it's much easier to take points off of and win against an all-rounder that way.
Yeah, and I mean, especially because it's only best of 9, first to 5 points. These matches aren't as long, and you know, you don't get as exhausted, you don't get as burnt out as you do perhaps in a grand finals, best of 13, best of 15, you know. And looking like we're going to see a hard rock 2 here.
There it is.
badeu fixing
precision hard
his
rock.
technical issues here. Hello once again. I think we're going to be here just for a minute while they get this map started. Definitely expected the hard rock 2 though.
Yeah, this is one of the picks that I think one of the first picks we talked about for badeu after those reading maps were finished off, going into the almost CS7 map here in precision, something that he's very good at. Very low BPM sort of map, very focused on aim control. You've got a lot of triples that require you to jump up and down for the triple, which are very, very difficult. We see players miss on those patterns all the time. And aside from that, you've got tons of wiggle streams, cut streams, acceleration, deceleration streams. So very, very tricky sort of map. And when you do bump that circle size all the way up to 7+, it becomes so difficult to have the aim control to really consistently get a high combo together, which is where the score comes from on laser.
Yeah, and I mean, these type of patterns are hard even on CS 6.5, the standard small CS tournament pick, but this going up to 6.8 right now. I think players are in the intro currently. We're looking to get underway here.
Hopefully get it swapped over shortly. They've just now started the map. Early lead for badeu, it looks like, as red player is a little bit ahead, but yeah, you're just looking at both of these players to get as much combo together as possible, not break on some of those triples where it matters. And there we go. You can see Osuferance on the screen right now. A couple of tricky finger control sections in this map as well. A couple of perfect stacks where you go from triples into single taps right away. So you do need the finger control as well to keep your combo going through those parts, not over tap on accident.
Yeah, this map definitely grueling. CS 6.8. AR10 consistency. This map really doesn't have any breaks. Fairly consistent all the way through, no real spikes. We've seen fairly even combos too, and accuracy for both players. Like I said, here we go, Malteser building a combo right now. badeu finding a break.
badeu still with the score lead. There goes Malteser's combo, but he's closed that score gap quite a bit, down to only about 20,000 score. badeu going to need to find another bit of high combo in order to build that lead back up. badeu has been very good, though, at building small combos over the course of the map. He's been consistently getting more and more small combos together than Malteser. So that's probably how he ends up winning this map, by being a little bit more consistent at keeping combo together over the long run. Malteser getting these short bouts of really high combo together to keep him competitive. Players will see the score during this break, only about 20k down for Malteser right now, not even 20k. As we get into the second half of this map, both of them with even combo.
And we can see Malteser at the break there with 93% beating badeu in accuracy, which I think is quite surprising considering, how good badeu is at this small CS, and they're looking incredibly even, both finding breaks at the same points here. Yeah, every single time. 3 double misses in a row, I think, and now Malteser building that smaller combo, badeu finding another break. That score gap is almost closing. It's around about 15k right now, halfway into the map.
Badeu's aim looking actually very shaky on some of these patterns, shaking off some of these streams entirely. Luckily for him, Malteser also finding the misses at a lot of the same points. So no score lead getting closed past that 15-16k mark, but we continue to see misses from both players, and it's going to come down to really how well they're able to combo this last 1/3 of the map or so. Both players finding misses over and over again, but there goes Badeu's combo, and Malteser starting to close the gap a bit down to about that 10k mark. He still holds on to the combo, finally finds a miss there, but Badeu just now a little bit of extra combo, finding the extra bit on some of these space streams is so difficult. You can see both players' cursors just shaking off of the streams right now, trying to hold on to as much as they can.
Malteser seeming to find much greater combos. That score gap is now only about 5k, and we're in maybe the last 1/5 of the map. Malteser building that smaller combo. He's looking like he's going to take the lead in a second here.
Yeah, Badeu with the advantage in the first half, but not able to hold on into the second half. You can see the shakes, and I'm not sure if it's due to those technical issues we were trying to sort out earlier or due to nerves, but definitely not having a good time with the back half here. Only a couple thousand score in the lead over Malteser right now, and Malteser holding on to a little bit of combo, about to get the score lead for himself right now.
This is going to be so close. 2k difference. Badeu finding that small combo just a little bit ahead of Malteser right now. Oh my god,
there's the slide break.
1,000 score difference. Malteser with a 30 combo.
No, he didn't miss. Oh, and there's Badeu. Barely clutches it out right at the end. Less than 3,000 score.
Wow, I did not expect it to be that close. I mean, what are you going to do? Malteser unfortunately finding that break at the end. Apparently, double tapping starting on Malteser's keyboard right now. Bit of a discussion going between the two players, but wow, what an intense map. I really did not expect that.
Seriously, you could see the shakes for Badeu there at the end there. You could see Malteser having issues trying to tap through the ending of the map as well. Both of them with trying to deal with external issues, trying to hit the map as well, and just it coming down to the wire between the both of them. You talked about Malteser being a very good hard rock player, being very consistent on hard rock overall. Badeu as well, with the precision kind of being his strong suit on that map overall. Really, both of them looking pretty solid on that one. I think that's one of the harder maps in the pool as well. You don't expect a lot of players to get above 500k on that pick, even on laser scoring, where the scores are much higher than what you would usually see on Score V2. That map very difficult. I think only a handful of players here could probably get above 500k on that pick.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the harder maps to be consistent on, along with that Hard Rock 3. I mean, we haven't really seen a lot of Hard Rocks being picked purely because of their, consistent difficulty, and Malteser coming right back with Neon Street Front, No Mod 4, one of my favorite songs in the pool here. I'm honestly not sure about this pick. I think badeu is quite good at these cut streams, these low BPM cut streams that are going to happen in this map.
It's not the lowest BPM. It is 188 BPM for this one, so almost 190. A little bit stamina intensive with how long some of the stream chains can be in this map. So that might potentially play into Malteser's favor. Of course, we just saw both of them competing on flow aim, on aim control just now on the precision pick. We already know how close they can be when you get them both going on some of these stream aim picks. And you can see kind of the combo game going for Badeu right now, not having the best of times with the accuracy, but still coming out with a pretty close score right now. A 75k to 100k at the moment for both of these players, down to Malteser getting the better accuracy and getting a little bit more combo as the map starts to go on as well. Finding a couple misses here and there though on some of the larger spacing streams.
Yeah, these early patterns in the intro are really, they're so inconsistent to be able to hit, sorry. And as we can see, badeu 10% less act than Malteser. I mean, he's proven me wrong here. This is looking like a really strong pick for Malteser right now.
Yeah, the stamina required for this map is, I think, a lot higher than most people realize, with multiple 16 plus note streams, with a lot of 4-note streams back to back as well, requiring a lot of finger control that can really eat into the stamina on some higher BPMs like this for some players. It just becomes a lot more difficult I identify with Badeu right now on the accuracy, just not having a good time with the streams in this one.
Yeah, it looks like a couple of misreads potentially on those overlapping patterns in the break section there, but coming out of the slow section, we're looking at a 50, 60k more lead for Malteser. Just 15% accuracy. He's looking much, much better than badeu right now, and we're going to be getting into a more intense section here shortly, and I don't expect the score lead to get any shorter.
No, this is probably still going to be a pretty solid pick for Malteser. I don't think there's really any way that badeu finds a comeback in this one. Has been very clearly uncomfortable all throughout the map, and well, this one doesn't get any easier going into the ending. Might get a little bit of combo together actually during this part of the map for badeu. The style of mapping changes to be more focused on space doubles, and you can see a lot of that going on right now, but it gets right back into the streams after this, and it seems like he's not going to be able to get the combo together during this part of the map anyway, so that is a very solid pick for Malteser. I believe that brings us to 4-3 after this pick as well. I think that Hard Rock pick from badeu tied it up 3-3, and that should be win number 4 for Malteser, match point now.
Yeah, he's looking to take this. I mean, if I were him, I'd feel very confident after this pick, you know. Going on almost 20% difference in accuracy, Malteser just looking like clearly the better player on this map.
Yeah, very smart pick from Malteser, recognizing that even the streams in this map are still going to be pretty rough for badeu, just going into whatever streamy picks are left in this map pool at all, and finding success with it there on the Nomad 4. Solid pick for him.
Yeah, Malteser finding a pretty comfortable 100k win on Nomad 4, and I wonder what badeu's going to pick into now. Potentially even Hard Rock 3, maybe?
Potentially the Hard Rock 3, potentially something like the Double Time 4. We haven't seen that one yet as well. I think either of those would be pretty solid picks for him. I think Nomad 3 is an option, but with some of the higher BPM streams in that map, like we talked about, potentially not the best pick that could be around for him. So we'll see what he ends up wanting to go with. My money would be on either Hard Rock 3 or Double Time 4, though.
Yeah, and I think badeu is still having those technical issues, unfortunately. I think that's why we were seeing some of those misses on Nomad 4. I expected him to do a little bit better, but yeah, I think those technical issues really hindering badeu right now, where Chillier and Malteser coming over to help him. Yeah, honestly, I kind of want to see a tiebreaker though, because
I really do.
I know Malteser's going to shred that one.
It's they've got so much different play styles as well. I feel like badeu can probably double tap a lot of the higher BPM bursts, and outside of that, it's a really slider-heavy alt map, this tiebreaker. So
yeah, and,
it could definitely be something that he can get a solid score together on if he can manage to double tap his way through some of the speedier sections in it.
Yeah, and those speedier sections, not necessarily as spaced as you might think for Galaxy Collapse, a fairly intense song, but yeah, there's a lot of fast jumps, fast aim, lots of sliders. Honestly, I see badeu having a really good chance on the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I think both of them have very solid chances to take the tiebreaker home, though. We saw how close that Hard Rock 3 was, or Hard Rock 2 was, again, between both of them. The aim control from Malteser clearly there today, and that's something that really finds its way into that tiebreaker. You've got a lot of anywhere from 250 to 300 BPM alt sections in that map. It is variable BPM, of course, Galaxy Collapse, so you're looking at a lot of changing spacing, very heavy aim control focus in that map that Malteser is still going to have a pretty good time on. I think both of these players are pretty evenly matched if we get to that tiebreaker, and that might be one of very few maps where we see a close score between these two, just given how lopsided a lot of the maps have been so far in this matchup.
And I think that's the case for the Hard Rocks. I had a feeling earlier in the match they were going to be probably the closest picks, and that's looking like what it's going to be. And honestly, I would not be surprised if badeu goes straight into Hard Rock 3 here.
Yeah, definitely would not be surprised at that at all. It looks like we're doing some play testing on badeu's PC right now, so hopefully we'll be able to get back into it shortly. Why don't we talk a little bit more detail about Hard Rock 3 and Double Time 4, because I think it's pretty clear those are the two maps that we're going to see between badeu for his next pick. I don't imagine him picking into the Hidden 1, given how streamy it is. Same thing for the Nomad 3. We could also see Nomad 1. We kind of neglected talking about Nomad 1 a little bit, but it is still an option for him right now.
Yeah, honestly, I'm honestly not entirely sure what badeu picks here, but offering a little bit of insight into Hard Rock 3 and Double Time 4, like you said, For me personally, on the laser client, the Hard Rock 3 was much, much easier to play because those Scorby 2 sliders on Bancho really aren't favorable for a map like that, and the note lock on laser isn't favorable for a map like DT4. So in my opinion, DT4 is actually much harder on the laser client, and Hard Rock 3 definitely being easier. So I'm not entirely sure. I think fairly sure badeu goes for that Hard Rock 3 though.
That may be an argument though for the double time 4, because if badeu, very, very good slider player, if he can't take advantage of his really high skill cap on maps like that on this client, then it might be better for him to pick into something like the double time 4, where there's much less of a chance of Malteser being able to quote unquote cheese out a better score by hitting the slider heads early.
Yeah, and that's definitely a fair point, but I wouldn't necessarily count out Malteser on alt maps. As we know, definitely a really consistent tournament player, one of the best right now, and yeah, I definitely wouldn't count him out on ult against badeu.
No, not at all. That does bring up the Nomad 1 as well. We kind of talked about that map a little bit, but generally what you see in that map, lots of really high spacing aim. It's almost 8 stars as an aim map, which is a lot harder to get today than it was a year ago before the star rating changes. Mainly the difficulty in that map coming from the ki times. If you can combo through that first ki time, if you can get a big combo amassed during that map, then you're very likely to win it, as during the latter half there's some very, very tricky sections in that map.
Yeah, definitely. We like to mention the spiral slider, the COE slider, which quite a few people have seemed to misread, really showing who's practicing and who's not. But yeah, I don't know, that's a fairly interesting pick because badeu having aim issues in this match, unfortunately, and Malteser's been looking really good. So I'm not entirely sure where these picks go from here.
A player like badeu having aim issues in match is about the worst scenario you could have for him, unfortunately. A player who gets most of his points off of aim-focused picks, outside of those couple of reading maps that we saw earlier in the Nomad 6 and the Hidden 2. The third pick for him was aim control and precision. And if your aim is not on point for a map like that, well, you saw how close it ended up being. Just a couple thousand scores separating him and Malteser at the end of the map. So it really is a crucial issue for him to get this aim issue sorted out before getting into this next match, because it could very well decide whether he wins or loses this match.
Yeah, and I'm not entirely sure what the points are. Is it 4-3 to Malteser? 4-3 to you, right? 4-2. 4-3. Okay, just got confirmation from Malteser. It is 4-3. Unfortunately, we cannot see the score here on the caster card. So.
Yeah, last pick. So this is of course badeu's last pick. So we're just debating exactly what map he's going to pick after we get all these tech issues sorted out. Luckily for him, none of his maps really requiring too much of a warm-up. He'll be able to jump right into it, get his aim sorted out, and be good to go. Unlike with some of the speedier picks from Malteser, he might actually end up flopping a bit if he doesn't have the warm-up necessary for it. But yeah, that Hard Rock 3 and Build Time 4, alongside the Nomad 1, really not requiring too much of a warm-up. Couple bursts here and there in Nomad 1, but outside of the stream section, 2/3 of the way in, it's really not all that bursty. It's all focused on awkward aim more so than anything else.
Yeah, and
there you go.
Malteser just joking around with us there, but yeah, those bursts on Nomad 1, I doubt badeu's really going to struggle with those. Not too high BPM, not too intense. Maybe a stream here and there, but nothing badeu can't handle. And we haven't really talked about Nomad 3 though. I feel like Nomad 3 would be quite a good pick for badeu, considering, he is really good at alt maps, and, we were considering the DT4 for him. And, Tokyo there, Nomad 3, looking at some really snappy, awkward aim, something badeu's, known for essentially, and some of those alt patterns too.
I think we'd have a really good time with a lot of the higher BPM jump sections in that map. A lot of the quote-unquote alts, it's really snap aim focused in that sort of map, plays a lot like a high BPM jump map, awkward aim during those snappier sections. My only concern for him is those, I think, are about 190-ish BPM streams in between a lot of the alt sections. Those in particular, we saw exactly how he did on the Nomad 4. It's the same BPM as the streams on Nomad 3. And if you can't really handle a lot of the streams on the Nomad 4, then the Nomad 3 streams, the aim control required for those is higher. They're shorter streams, so that may be something that goes for him a bit. But I think overall, a little bit of a risky pick, because those extra 1/3 streams come around, every 100 combo or so. And if he can't really handle those streams, then he's not going to be able to amass a big combo through any part of that map.
Yeah, and I think on this laser client, the early combos really matter from what I've noticed by playing. And yeah, if you don't get that early combo, it's really, really hard to recover in the middle of the map. And yeah, as we've seen in some of the matches, especially yesterday, a lot of people really failing to recover because of those early combo leads. badeu still discussing with the Poon here about some tech issues. I think we might be taking a break for a little bit longer. We're going to have to hold on. Malteser is on match point. Let's not forget, 4-3. You want to say a few words, Malteser? Do you want to come on? Do you not? You want to say that? Okay.
He just wants to sit next to the desk.
Got a hi from Malteser there, but they can see you, by the way. Yeah, a little bit of insight from Malteser here, talking about the combo. Malteser saying he's mashing for combo here, a little bit more of a combo game compared to Score v2 as we're used to seeing on Bancho in normal tournaments.
Yeah, it's much more akin to Score v1 than it is to Score v2. It's essentially just Score v1 with the 1 million score cap, and that's it for the laser scoring method right now. So definitely far more combo game focused. That's why you see on speed maps, for example, on Nomad 5, when badeu was double tapping and he had 20% less accuracy, but he was still down, only 50k or so compared to Malteser. That's exactly what's going on. He's just able to get some combo together, and that's the whole reason that the score goes up. Another difference, of course, Score v2 in Bancho, you actually lose score as your accuracy goes down or as you get misses. Not the case here. You just keep the same score and keep going up in score over time instead. So very, very different from the Score v2 that most tournament players are used to competing on.
Yeah, no, just gonna quickly go and check on badeu here, see if everything's going okay.
I think we may have confirmation on the next pick. It is actually Nomad 1 for badeu. He's going with the aim consistency pick. So not going with the alt map in double time, not going with that hard rock slider map. He's going with that jump map in Nomad. Again, very awkward aim focused, mapped by Calicube, also known as Alice. Very, very awkward polygonal jump aim focused map. A lot of kind of pattern aim that you would typically see in 2015, 2016 thrown into this map as well. And then later on in the second half of the map, you get the big COE Ladybug slider into a little single tap section, into this giant super fast spiral slider, and then into the streamy portion of the map. Luckily for badeu, and I think a big reason that he can pick this and be confident on it, is that basically nobody has comboed through the stream section in this map. Every time we've seen this Nomad 1 get picked, both players break their combos on the stream section, and neither player is able to really get too much score. So badeu doesn't have to worry so much about that stream section being his downfall, because probably both players are going to break during it. It looks like both players are just about ready to go at this point. We should be able to get into the map and get this match finished up. Again, this is last pick for badeu, currently 4-3 in Malteser's favor. Badeu's do or die pick. If he wins this, he forces the tiebreaker. If he loses, he is out of the tournament. Single elimination bracket is unforgiving before the semifinals, as you get no second chances. So badeu's technical issues needing to get fixed before we get into this map. Very important for whether or not he actually wins the map or is knocked out of the tournament. Seemingly good start for badeu though, 99 accuracy out of the intro compared to 94 for Malteser, and 1 miss for Malteser, no misses for badeu, holding on to the full combo. He does find a break on that burst though. Some of these bursts deceptively long in the starting portions of the map. 7-note bursts or so can be difficult for him. So we'll need to watch out for some of those later on into this map as well. We'll see how he handles the first key eye time. This is probably what makes or breaks the score for badeu right now. Couple of bursts here and there in this section, but nothing huge. And there's a miss from Malteser. badeu still holding on to the combo at the moment. He manages to hold on through that 5-note and through the... No! He misses on the slider right after the triples. Still a combo advantage for badeu, still a score advantage at the moment as well. Going strong at the moment, but not the score lead that you were looking for. Only about 15k after that first KI time, an ever so slight combo lead. There is more map coming up right now though, and we should be able to see badeu hold on to some of this combo going into the second KI time as well. Still going well for him, but not able to find the score lead that he wanted in the first half.
Yeah, although, looking at this accuracy difference, I mean, as we were saying before, it doesn't make a difference right now in the current laser scoring system, but it just shows badeu seeming to be a little bit more comfortable on this map than Malteser, with a almost 20k score lead right now.
Yeah, barely any lead for badeu at the moment. Both players finding miss after miss on this map. badeu missing on the burst, Malteser missing on a lot of their jumps. Really unfortunate couple of breaks for badeu on a slider, for example, that would have otherwise given them a pretty big score lead right now. This is that hard section coming up. Slow part at the moment, into the spiral slider, into the streams.
Yeah, no misreads on the COE slider there. But going into this fast section here, watch out for the spiral slider. Hopefully both players hit it. Both players comboing through that slider. badeu with a 200 combo. Malteser finds another break. This score lead's only going to get bigger for badeu. He finds another break, but
the rest of this section probably doesn't matter too much. Malteser maybe will come out of it with a little bit of a score lead, but no, the big jumps at the end of him kill his combo as well, and he's got about a 40,000 score lead for badeu right now. He double taps the burst and makes it through, actually, is able to hold on to the combo there, and is sitting pretty right now, about 50,000 score up over Malteser.
yeah, I think we're going to be going to a tiebreaker here. If badeu can just hold towards the end now, we're going to be seeing Galaxy collapse to you.
We probably will, but it's a little early to speak for sure. We do see a couple breaks come through for badeu, but it looks like Malteser just not comfortable enough on the aim. Under-aims that note right there at the end.
Yeah,
and
a little
I
laugh
think it's
from
safe to say.
Malteser. Yeah, a little laugh from Malteser there. I think he knows we're going to Galaxy collapse right now. I can't aim from Malteser there. But yeah, badeu, that no mod one, I think we said it earlier. Yeah, looking really good for badeu right now, going into tiebreaker. Although, that Galaxy collapse is very, very fast at some points, and I'm not entirely sure if badeu's going to be able to double tap his way through. But, as we close the no mod 1, we're going into Galaxy collapse.
We're getting our second tiebreaker of the weekend and our first tiebreaker of the day. Second matchup of the quarterfinals. If you're not already gathered around, come through in the venue and take a watch at the tiebreaker between badeu and Malteser. For those of you watching at home, I'm sure you're excited as well for our first tiebreaker of the day, Galaxy Collapse. We talked about this map a little bit earlier while we were having some tech delays, right? But we can talk a little bit more about it right now. Very alt and slider heavy map with a lot of very high BPM but low spacing bursts built into it as well.
Yeah, definitely, but who's ready for Galaxy Collapse? Come on, who's ready for Galaxy Collapse? There you go. All right. Both players in the lobby right now. I'm excited for this one.
I'm excited also. We only seen it once before between Okanamo and Ninrik, so that was a very good match as well between two very similar players. This time getting it between two very different players in badeu and Malteser, two players with extremely opposite skill sets. It's kind of funny how that shakes out. You sometimes get tiebreaker between two players who basically have the same skill set and are both very, very good. And sometimes you get two players who are complete opposites like these two, and they end up just trading their picks back and forth the entire match long and forcing the tiebreaker at the end of it. I think this is a pretty balanced tiebreaker for these two, though. We saw earlier Malteser, very good aim control right now, looking very good on stuff like the Hard Rock 2 and the Precision pick. And of course, badeu, aim player in general, very, very solid on a lot of the alt picks, but maybe we'll struggle on some of the bursts in this map later on.
Yeah, I think that's been the entire story of the match, right? badeu failing on the burst and Malteser seeming to combo them, but we're getting underway here. This map is very long, so I'm expecting a close one.
This is a classic song. Over 8 stars for this tiebreaker. Over 10 stars for the classic version. A little bit hard for a tournament setting. Big difference, I think, between the classic 10-star version and this one. A lot more flow aim focus in the classic one. You see a lot of really high spacing flow aim patterns, whereas in this one, look at the snap aim in some of these bursts. You get so much direction change in a lot of these patterns.
Yeah, and I mean in this map as well, you've got it all, like speedy burst, speedy jumps, alternating, even some really fast slider velocity and finger control towards the middle section, and both players looking really comfortable right now. 250 combo for both. Score flickering, and badeu finding the first break on the tiebreaker here. Malteser looking to take an early score lead into this one.
It's actually very big for Malteser to get that early combo advantage. This part doesn't look so slow, but it is a little bit easier than what we just saw from either of these players. The first space burst catches badeu off as well, and he finds another combo reset. Malteser able to combo through it and hold on to what is now an over 400 combo lead for himself.
Yeah, and unfortunately, badeu not able to find his footing on some of those bursts. Malteser with a commanding 500 combo right now. Almost a 100k lead coming out of the intro, and it's looking incredibly good for him right now.
Look at the accuracy from Malteser on this map as well. 97% AC on this map. These are 270 BPM bursts for context, so being able to play 270 BPM, both the single tapping and the bursts from Malteser just looking ridiculously good at the moment. He is single tapping this, by the way.
And there it is. Malteser into the slow section with a 750 combo. This is about as commanding as it gets. 330k. Although, let's not forget, this scoring system is a little bit different to Score v2, so if badeu can find a combo where Malteser breaks, it's anybody's game.
And we're getting into the speed up section where, you know, some of the reading comes into play in this map, where some of the more aim control focus comes into play. We'll see if that ends up breaking Malteser's combo, but at the moment, he's just looking so comfortable on this map. Hasn't really been challenged in terms of, you know, either the aim or the speed on this one. So very hard to count him out of this map at this point. He's looking so good. Double score at the moment from badeu, 400k to 200k, and there's a miss for badeu on this section as well.
Yeah,
Malteser just looking so good. Is he going to combo through this part of the map?
No way.
Nobody's comboed this before.
No way.
No, he finds the slider break, not able to get it.
So unfortunate. That might be a slider break. He's still S ranking, I believe. And as I say that, he finds a couple of misses. I apologize, but yeah, it's looking really good for Malteser right now. 440k to badeu's 200 coming into the speediest section here. These bursts are brutal, man.
And with both of them resetting combo, Malteser should just be happy with where he is. 200,000 score up halfway through. A tiebreaker is an absolutely massive score lead coming from him right now. badeu is going to need to game the ending on this map, because if he's not able to get 1,000 combo or so, there is no comeback happening on this map. So as we get into the last quarter or so, if badeu doesn't have that big combo to his name, we basically already know the outcome. Malteser, though, the aim in this section really throwing him off, it seems. Multiple combo breaks coming out from him, but there goes badeu as well, not able to keep the combo together. He's going to need to amass something here as we get closer and closer to that fourth quarter.
Yeah, those bursts really defeating badeu right now. Malteser, clearly the more comfortable player on the speed. I was hoping badeu was able to maybe double tap or potentially spam through some of these bursts, but it's looking a little bit too hard for him. Although he does have a 100 combo lead, potentially if he keeps it through, as I say that he breaks, if he keeps a combo lead through the last third though, it could be close, but I'm fairly confident Malteser's already won this.
This is actually a bigger score lead for Malteser than what we saw at the halfway point. 230,000 score up near the ending here for Malteser. So still going up in terms of the score lead. I think probably partially due to the accuracy, 5% up for him. Both players missing on that longer burst. And I think that probably just about seals it up. Still 230,000 score in the lead for Malteser. badeu without a big combo to his name right now going into the last quarter. That is probably game over, and that is probably the tiebreaker win for Malteser.
Yeah, and I mean, clearly the more comfortable. Oh, Malteser not finding his grip there after the break. Little whoopsie. Apparently pressing the Windows key, not able to tap back into the game quick enough, but I don't think it matters too much. Malteser with most likely a fairly comfortable victory on this, and going into the semi-finals.
Guaranteed top 4 position, guaranteed at least 2 more matches, one in the semifinals and one in either the finals or the 3rd or 4th place decider match. very, very solid match overall from Malteser. You know, a match between two players who are completely different in terms of the skill set, and I think Malteser's skill set just benefiting him a bit more here on the tiebreaker. That first half, a lot more speed focused and a lot lower spacing on a lot of the aim control than in the second half here. Badeu not able to get the big combo together here in the second half, despite being the player favored to do so. Really, I think decides a lot of this map as well. Malteser just going strong through the first half, and really that ended up being the only deciding factor in this map.
And there
5-4 for Malteser.
Hey, at least someone from the UK is making it through. He has a UK flag, Jonah, come on. But yeah, fairly dominant tiebreaker performance from Malteser. I'm really excited to see him in the semifinals.
And Malteser will be going up against Reedcat in the semifinals, by the way. Definitely a matchup to watch. We'll see probably quite a lot of early speed points from Malteser into, I think, probably some of these same aim control picks later on into the match. They worked very well against Badeu here, largely because I think some of the aim control picks are a bit streamy in this map pool, but very, very solid match overall for Malteser. 5-4 victory. He moves on to semis.
Round of applause for Malteser. And let's not discredit Badeu. What an amazing game from him. Putting up with lots of technical issues and still putting up a great performance here in the quarterfinals. But yeah, what a match. Tiebreaker.
Yeah. Always exciting to see a tiebreaker. Badeu, despite, like you said, the tech issues, still able to force it, still able to bring Malteser to that tiebreaker. But unfortunately, his run ends here. He will drop out in the quarterfinals, and Malteser will be moving on to semis against Reedcat. That is all that we have for the moment. Congratulations again to Malteser for the win there. We'll get the next matchup going here soon. This next matchup is also going to be a very good one. These quarterfinals matches, I think, are very exciting compared to some of the round of 16. It's going to be Bartek versus Okinamo for our next matchup. One of the long-standing Polish tournament players in Bartek versus another very long-standing German tournament player in Okinamo.
Yeah, Bartek with another German matchup. He's looking to destroy all of Germany, apparently. Where's Whitecat when you need him? But yeah, that's a really exciting matchup, actually. Okinamo obviously won his match yesterday fairly comfortably, I want to say, and Bartek with a really, really clutch performance against Kanna as well yesterday.
Yeah. Two very similar players, Bartek and Okinamo, both very good at speed, very good at hidden. So I think that's going to be a very interesting matchup to watch. That is it for now for us, though. We'll be back in 15 to 20 minutes with Bartek versus Okinamo. Thank you all for watching, both at the venue and at home. We'll see you soon.
Thank you very much, everyone.